Hello, friends. It's Nikki, and welcome back to my messy bookshelf. Today I'm here to share my weekly reading wrap up. I did make progress on some things. I finished two books, made progress on some others, and overall, I'm very pleased with how much I read, despite how crazy this last week was. Um, so I will share the books that I finished. The first one I finished was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and I did this one as a buddy read with my friend Jessica from On a Stack of Books. And I think I finished it the day after her, shortly after I filmed last week's weekly reading wrap up. And I am so happy that I finally got to this book. This book is one from my 50 before 50 list because I had started and stopped it multiple times and for some reason never got into it. And this time, I don't know what was different. My mood was different or what have you, but it was lovely. The writing I found very beautiful. I found the pacing to be wonderful, and the characters, Achilles and Patroclus, were fantastic. I loved watching them grow up together. And then later on, as they formed a different relationship, it was wonderful. It was honestly a beautiful book. And I'm so happy that I finally got to this one. And me and Jessica had a lot of good conversation regarding this book as well. So, overall, fantastic buddy read, fantastic book. And yeah, I'm kicking myself that it took me so long to get to it, but that's okay. We finally got to it. The next book that I finished was a very short book. However, it is also one from my 50 before 50 list. So I finished a very short book this week because I am working on a chunker right now. But this book is Animal Farm by George Orwell. And this one, I was kind of feeling in the mood for something a little dark, something a little short, and this fit the bill perfectly. I read this, I want to say in middle school or high school, and I didn't remember anything about it other than that there were animals forming some sort of rebellion. And yeah, this was a chilling read. This was a very chilling read. Um, Seeing how even the most well meaning, or maybe not so well meaning, but how well meaning revolutionaries can sometimes go down the wrong path. So we're following a farmyard or a farm of animals where a farm of animals that has been mistreated by the farmer. And so the animals decide to overthrow the farmer and they drive him off. And they decide to form their own government. And it is just chilling to see how all the quote unquote best intentions can sometimes either disappear or evolve into something different. It was quick, it was chilling, like I said. I did have to put it down at one point because I was just so frightened for these animals. And I put it down, picked it up like 2 days later, and did end up finishing it. It was honestly just a bit scary to see how easily these types of things can happen. So, definitely enjoyed this one. I'm happy I read it. And on my little list of 50 before 50 books, I was able to check off two of those books this week, which sounds excellent, but both of them were not the chunkers on my list. I do have quite a few. I would say about 90 to 95% of the books on this list are mammoth sized books, and I have to read 7 books a year to keep up and actually complete this challenge that I set for myself. And yeah, I picked a lot of mammoth classics. So as far ahead as I can get in the beginning will be better because there are some books on here that I have been avoiding for quite some time. Moving on, the next thing I made progress in was very little progress, but finally did make some progress with Memoirs of a Geisha, which is our Audiomiles group read that carried over into June. I was only able to walk. I had 3 scheduled walks this week. I only went on one walk, and that was 2.01 miles. So 2 miles, and I made it to 48% in the book. On the other 2 days, I actually made it to the park, and someone hit my car and hit and run me, made an illegal turn. So I left the park and filed a police report and dealt with all of that. And then the next time I made it to the park, and a child in my house forgot their lunch, so I had to leave and go pick up lunch and bring it to school. So yeah, things were just happening this week. Um, but overall, yes, Audio Miles, which I do co-host with my friend Jessica from On a Stack of Books, we are still loving Memoirs of a Geisha, and it is killing me that I keep not being able to make progress in this book. But I did make some progress this week. And yeah, I am just loving Sayuri's story and all of the cultural context that she gives. So, moving on, the next book that I made some progress in and that I started last week was Pamela by Samuel Richardson. This is a buddy read that I am doing with my friend Candy. We are reading this over the course of the month, so we are reading it rather slow. I am on letter 23 right now, and Candy and I are having great conversation about this book. We are both screaming at our main character to leave the house. And yeah, she is being pursued by the master of the house, and it's told through letters. And yeah, we're both screaming at her, please get out of this house. But obviously, we know things are probably going to happen. And yeah, we are both enjoying this one very much. And we plan to draw this out over the month of June. Because we do have another buddy read, which I have also made progress in, and this one's a bit bigger. War and Peace. We did start War and Peace, and we are doing this one over the course of the entire summer. And so far, I don't think either one of us has missed a day of reading, and we mapped it out to read about 14 to 15 pages a day. I am trying to get a little bit further ahead just in case of days like the guy hitting my car and running off, where I may not do any reading. Um, but yeah, I haven't missed a day's reading yet, and we are enjoying it. This is a reread for me, and I am really loving this translation. The one gripe that I do have about this translation is that they left all of the French in there. And so I have to go to the footnotes to see what the French is in English. So I have been cross referencing it with my other copy of War and Peace. I do prefer the other translation, but I do like how this one doesn't have the French. It's in English. I cannot read French. So, enjoying it very much. We are being introduced to a lot of characters right now. And again, Candy and I are having great discussion so far about this book. All right, moving on. The next thing that I did start was something I forgot to mention in my pile of possibilities for June. I am participating in the group read for Randy Ray's Seriously Well Read book club on Patreon this month. And yeah, I am able to fit another short book in this month. Another reread, but one that I love. The Great Gatsby. So we read chapters 1 and 2 this week. So um enjoying that, looking forward to getting into the group discussion on Voxer. So The Great Gatsby. And then I wanted something for fun. I have not started my June on the Range books yet. One will be at the end of the month, and the other one will be next week. Uh, I did start book 5. Book 5? Yeah, book 5 in Dungeon Crawler Carl, The Butcher's Masquerade, and I think I'm really going to love this one as much as, if not more, than the last four that I have read, because I can tell things are picking up. There are some things that carried over from the last book and, the last couple of books that are being felt in this book. And yeah, I'm only 6 chapters in, but these are rather quick to read, so it is big. It'll count for a big book for Big Book Summer as well. But I anticipate being able to finish this, if not this week, then next week. So yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl. And that is all I have going on right now. I do plan on starting News of the World this coming week because I did finish Animal Farm. So yeah, we are making great progress here this month, and that's all I have. So yeah, thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Let me know if you have read any of these and what you think about them and what you are reading. So thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.